video we have finished chapter 2. Now move ahead with another chapter, that is congruence relation on Z. As we studied previously about the integer and divisibility in an integer, from now onwards we study congruence relation on integer. So here we have the topics from this unit. First is congruence. Okay, so in this topic we'll study definition and some properties. Second, we have Euler-Phi function. Next, statement of Euler's theorem. Then we have Fermat's theorem and Wilson theorem. This is a brief idea about what are the topics we studied in this unit. So let's begin with the first topic, that is congruence relation. So here we have definition. Let n be a positive integer and integer a is said to be congruent to b modulo n if and only if a minus b is divisible by n, and this is denoted by a congruent to, this is a sign of congruent, b mod n. Okay, this is how we write congruence relation modulo n. And in the mathematical form we write, for given positive integer n, a is congruent to b mod n if and only if n divides a minus b. Okay, this is the symbol in the mathematical form. Examples: 3 is congruent to 7 mod 4 if and only if this is a is equal to 3, b is equal to 7 and n equal to 4. So we write n is 4 divides 3 minus 7. Okay, similarly for this example, that is 93 is congruent to 51 mod 7, since 7 divides 93 minus 51, which is equal to 42. Okay, this is how we write. Now we will see theorem, that is congruent modulo n is equivalence relation in Z. To prove this, we will show that the relation is reflexive, symmetric and transitive. Okay, so here we have theorem, congruent modulo n is an equivalence relation. Okay, so for that we take n, which is a positive integer in Z, and from that Z we take a and b, two elements. We write congruent modulo n means a is congruent to b mod n if and only if n divides a minus b. First we write this, whatever given to us. Now what we have to show, the relation is reflexive, symmetric and transitive. So let's begin with the first, that is reflexive. Reflexive is what? X is related to x, means a is related to a, that's we have to show. So how we'll show? N divides a minus a. Okay, instead of b we write a, which equals to 0. Okay, for all a in Z. From this what we write, a is congruent to a mod n. So here we prove the reflexive, that is x related to x or a related to a. Let's move on to second, symmetric. In this what we have to show, we have given a related to b implies b related to a, that's we have to show in symmetric. So we take a and b are two integers, such that here we apply the definition of congruence modulo n, that is a is congruent to b mod n if and only if n divides a minus b. We apply minus sign, so what we get, n divides minus a minus b. Okay, so from this if we take this minus sign inside, so what we get, minus a plus b. So we write b minus a. So that's what we have to show, that is b is related to a, and we prove this. So from what we get, n divide b minus a. So how we write this in this form? So b is congruent to this a mod n. Okay, b is congruent to a mod n. So from this we prove symmetry. For transitive, we take, what is the definition of transitive? A related to b, b related to c, then a related to c. Okay, this is the definition of transitive. So here we take three integers a, b, c, and we apply the definition of congruence modulo n. Here we get a congruent to b mod n and b is congruent to c mod n, means a related to b and b related to c. Now from this we get n divides a minus b, and from this we write n divides b minus c. Okay, and here we see n is a common, so we take addition of these two, so we get n divide a minus b plus b minus c. Okay, so here we cancel out b, what we get here, which is equal to a minus c. Okay, so n divides a minus c. If I apply here the definition in this form, so we get a is congruent to c mod n. That's we have to show, means we prove a is related to c. Okay, and from all these three conditions, that is reflexive, symmetric and transitive, we prove the relation congruence modulo n is equivalence relation. That we have to show. If you have given equivalence which is equal to equivalence relation, then remember you have to show reflexive, symmetric and transitive. These three conditions should be satisfied. Okay, so that's it for today's video. In the next video we will take another important theorem and some properties without proof. So see you in the next video. Bye and take care.